Over $6 grand in repairs yesterday in Cheyenne to get me back on the road to try to get everything right. And yet, I break down again today, Friday, the 31st. Had to get towed. Still waiting for a guy to come back up from Cheyenne to finish repairing. On this episode of
the Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. Yep, that's Rusty, the world famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Alright, here it is, Thursday, the 30th of March. Sitting here in front of Sapp Bros. I was here early this morning trying to get the whole air compressor thing figured out. And yes, I was right. It was the unloading valve inside the air compressor that was bad, that was stuck open. That's what kept causing my purge valves to blow and get broken. That's why we went through a full air dryer and 2 purge valves in the last few weeks. So hopefully this will get fixed. Of course, they did not have the unloader valve replacement kit here. Freightliner here in Cheyenne did not have one. Kenworth right across the street here didn't have one. So I called the Freightliner back and said, look, do any of the other stores have one? Oh, Sydney, Nebraska's got one. So this is the kit here. About $100 for that thing. I can show you what it looks like. It's just a little valve assembly thing right there that goes inside the compressor. That's what's been sticking. So hopefully that'll take care of the air issue. We took care of the ABS issue I was having last week, and I saw my video, Clutch Trucker's a Moron, because I didn't realize it was the wrong axle. And then while we were here, my rear axle drives are at like 5 and 6/30 seconds, which means they're almost to the point where they're illegal. My front drive axle is actually in pretty good shape. They're at about 10 to 30 seconds. So I'm going to get all new drive tires. They've got Toyos here. I like Toyo. Sapp Bros has got one of the better prices on on tires in general. They always say we'll beat or meet any competitor's price on tires. And again, since this is my hometown shop here in Cheyenne, I can take the time. I don't have to have Rusty in the truck while I'm doing all this. So we're going to get 8 new drives. I'm going to take all the drives from the front axle, which are in much better shape. I'm going to push those back to the trailer. If you remember a few months back, about 4 months ago, Jim Fastbinder, good buddy of mine and one of my subscribers, gave me his old Michelin drives, and we put those on the trailer. A few of them were in better shape than some others, and then one of them blew that I had to get replaced in Texas with my spare that I had on the truck. So I'm going to move all 4 of the ones from the front axle, which are in much better shape, to the trailer, and I'm going to put all these drives from my front axle on there, and the best other 4 tires that Jim Fastbinder gave me that are in the best shape, I'll just leave on. So, because you can run your trailers down to 230 seconds. And as I always say, old drive tires make great trailer tires because they've got harder sidewalls, and they tend to be a little tougher anyway. So that's a great way to use up your old drives. Don't sell them to the shop if you don't have to, because they're not going to give you much money for them. And if you can use them for trailer tires, that's the way to go. So there's the stack of new Toyo drives I'm going to get. You can see the tread pattern on those. They are not a closed shoulder, they're an open shoulder, which means you see they have the little indents on the side. A closed shoulder means it's all going to be solid right above the sidewalls. And there's arguments for either one. In the winter months, I tend to like the open shoulder. Or if you're in any mud or something, you're going to get a little bit better traction on snow and so forth. Summer months, they really don't make a difference. Okay, here's my current drive tires. These are Dayton's, the D610D. See, it says Dayton down there. It's upside down, but that does say Dayton. Okay, and you can see these, the front axle drives are actually still in pretty good shape. Got quite a bit of teeth left on them. If I can get out of my own shadow here. So see, these are going to be good trailer tires. So all across this front axle here, they're pretty good shape. The rear axle, you can see, not as good a shape. They're close to being worn down. I'm also going to put new drums and brakes on my front axle. I did the rear axle a few months back. And see my drives on this side. See, these are in really good shape. So let's reuse them instead of buying newer tires for the trailer. I did have to replace one of the Daytons. You can see that's this one here. See, here's a closed shoulder, here's an open shoulder, and you can see how worn down this one is. So this one's gonna go away. And whatever best one out of these other three left, maybe this one here will become my new spare. I have to buy a wheel so I can put it back on my rack there on the back of the truck. That's what that rack is for. Unfortunately, they don't have any wheels in stock. They're only about 120 bucks here. The cheapest I found online was 250. He's got that ordered. So I just gotta wait until I can come back through town again to get my spare. But once I move the better drives to the trailer and I have all new drives, I should be in good shape, and I should hopefully be able to not worry about needing a spare right away. But as you can see with this rack here behind my cab, I can keep a fully inflated on a wheel spare ready to go. And that saved my butt when I was in Texas in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, and had blown a trailer tire. I just had to go over to the Loves and say, here, I got one right here, and just had to pay him 40 bucks to take the old one off and put the new one on. So by taking the time while I'm home to get all this done, like I say, the air compressor issue will finally be solved. We solved the ABS issue last week. I'm gonna have all new drives. I'm gonna have new drums on the front axle. I know the rear ones I just replaced not too long ago. New brakes on the front axle. Again, rear ones not replaced not too long ago. So, and then now all the better tires on the trailer. And I still have the ABS and air lines to go between the tractor and the trailer waiting for me at the house. I'll put those on once I'm done here today. So that'll take care of any ABS issue I had on the trailer, which was just the cable. So then everything should be good to go on the truck and trailer. So like I say, with L on Wheels being a new MC that I'm now leased onto with Elliot, my buddy Elliot, it's just me and him. We're new and we need inspections so that that'll get put into the FMCSA database so that more brokers can work with us. So that's the whole theory there. I've been doing pretty good with the Coyote. I did 3 loads in a row for them. And I'm now doing this load I'm picking up in Glen Rock, Wyoming tomorrow morning with H-Bar in. They were willing to work with us being new. Going to Wisconsin. And then I looked on the Coyote board and I've got 2 other good loads that are paying well over $2 a mile, which is unusual right now because the rates are terrible right now. Okay, there's all 8 new drive tires on. You can't see it, but there's new drums on the front axle, new brakes on the front axle. We did the drums and brakes on that one about 4 months ago. So now fresh brakes, drums, tires all the way around here on the tractor. It's a beautiful thing. Right, now Caleb is torquing all the nuts to make sure they're all good and tight. And then we go get the trailer. Okay, so here it is, Friday the 31st. Yeah, I didn't get out of Sapp Brothers last night until about 9:30. So, just ran home. My wife helped me do the bedding upstairs. And then the kids helped me bring out all the supplies. And it's literally all just sitting around in here. I haven't had a chance to put anything away because I put all the cold stuff away. And then went to bed for a big, like 3 hours or so. Had to get up real early, left the house around a little after 4 this morning. Picked up my trailer at Sapp Brothers, came up here to Glen Rock is where I am now, picking up at Black Hills Lignite. And I've looked all over Wikipedia and found all the information about lignite, probably more than anyone would want to know. It's considered the brown coal. It's the lowest heat generating coal type. They use it for various things, for agriculture, for generating electricity, kind of interesting. So as you can see, I'm backed into the dock here right next to the railroad tracks. This little place where they have the lignite. And it is snowing right now, just lightly. It was very windy on my way up here. And a couple of times, because I had an empty trailer, got a little frightening. For those of you truckers who ever driven I-25 north of Cheyenne, between Cheyenne and Wheatland, actually between Chugwater and Wheatland, there's this place called Bordeaux Road. And it's famous for trucks getting flipped off of the road there. Even in the calmest conditions, right there, they'll have these huge gusts. And with the empty trailer, it was like a little frightening, but yeah, we made it through and got up here to get loaded. So they're loading now. I think they're about done, or real close to being done. I got here early. I got here at 7:10, or yeah, about 7:10 this morning. The window was from 8 to noon. But I got here early, and because they have a high wind warning out this morning that was starting around 10 a.m., I wanted to make sure I was here before there. Yes, hello, Rusty, I see you. He has to come up and say hi again. But so anyway, we're gonna get loaded, and I didn't get much sleep, but I got all of the stuff done. I'll talk more in detail about that in a few minutes and stuff. I'll do some road video. I'm not gonna drive too much more today, maybe 3 to 4 hours. Then I'm gonna get parked and sleep for like 14 hours. What do you think? Well, that was the plan. But then I stopped in Orange Junction to cook myself up something to eat. Cooked up a little burrito. It was a beautiful thing. And then finally put everything away. I saw they had a dumpster over there. I knew there was a lot of boxes I'd have to empty and so forth. So I thought, well, this is a good time to get everything put away. And then I'll move on down the road. I had to change I was going to go up through the Black Hills, up towards Rapid City, but then I decided there's a huge storm coming through today. And so I decided I better stay down on Highway 20, go through across the top of Nebraska, through Chadron, or Shadron, I'm never sure how it's pronounced. So that's the way I was going to go. So I wanted to get everything put away first, so then when I get parked, I could just maybe put the video together and get some sleep. And that was the whole plan, like I said earlier. Well, then after I left Orange Junction, I looked down at my air gauges. I'm only at 80 psi. Should be up around 120. It keeps dropping. Now I'm on this tiny two-lane highway in Wyoming with hardly any shoulders of any kind, no place to pull off. I finally hit the tiny little town, I mean really tiny little town of Lost Springs, and there's just a little bit bigger shoulder and a little bit of an edge so I could get off of the lane. I needed to pull off before the damn brakes went off on me. So yeah, we ended up breaking down again. Thought the whole air compressor thing was all fixed, but apparently not. So sat there all afternoon, calling all of the shops around Douglas and Lusk and everywhere locally. Nobody can get me in. Nobody can come out. I was waiting hours for a tow truck to come get me because I can't sit on the side of the road. And when you got no air, you can't move the truck. Finally, a tow truck did show up. I thought maybe at that point, okay, maybe the compressor took a dump on me. I had been talking to Sapp Bros saying, you guys just fixed this. You know, what do you think? And they said, well, maybe it's the compressor has just finally gone out. So when the tow guy showed up, we did pull the air line off of the compressor to check that, and it was putting out air, so it wasn't the compressor, which is good because that's $1,200 to $1,400 for that. He crawled under the air dryer and said, "Oh, the governor seems to be where it's pissing the air out." And I'm like, they just replaced that governor yesterday as they were trying to diagnose the whole problem, because I had to go and get an air kit, from Sydney, blah blah blah. I think I talked about all that earlier in the video, and so anyway, I called Sapp Bros and said, all right, you guys replaced that in the process, and now that seems to be the problem. So they're trying to make it good. They're sending a mechanic up to meet me here, which is good. So anyway, tow guy gets us all hooked up, and then that was an experience. Okay, he's got us all hooked up. We're getting towed to Lusk. This is like one of the weirdest sensations I've ever experienced. I'm rolling down the road. I'm not touching the steering wheel or anything. The engine's not on, and they're towing the whole truck and trailer because, of course, we're loaded. And this is one of the weirdest sensations ever. I feel like I'm on some sort of weird, demented Disney World ride. Just sitting here rolling down the road behind the tow truck. Pretty strange sensation. So. But been talking to Sapp Bros. We found out it's not my compressor. It looks like it's the governor on the air dryer. They would swap that out yesterday as they were trying to figure out the rest of the problems with the compressor. And maybe it was a bad one. Luckily, Freightliner in Cheyenne has the governor, the air dryer with the governor on it, and another purge valve kit. They're sending a guy from Sapp Bros, where I spent all the money and everything yesterday, to go pick that up. They're going to drive up to Lusk and try to repair that for me tonight. So that's why I love Sapp Bros. That's why I do all my work back there, because they stand behind it. It looks like they're really trying to make it work and make it right to get me back on the road. So here I am, just sitting here, not touching my wheels and everything, and yet I'm rolling down to Lusk. Weird sensation. Okay, so here we are, and while I'm waiting for the guy for Sapp Brothers to show up, he called, he's on the way, and all that, and I'm talking to my wife on the phone. All of a sudden, the truck starts to build air for no reason. It wouldn't do it for 7 hours today, but all of a sudden decided to build air. It's not purging, so I think there's still an issue. I had talked to Floyd's Freightliner, and I'll tell you, this is why I never do any service at Floyd's. I'm amazed they're still in business. Well, because they're a Freightliner and people have to go there for some things. I have an account with them, so I buy parts from them, but I always bring them to Sapp Brothers because I trust Sapp Brothers. I don't trust Floyd's. And here's another perfect example. All right, so the guy shows up. I had talked to Floyd's, and they said, oh, well, we have the entire air dryer, we've got the purge kit, and we've got purge valve kit, and we've got the governor. So I said, well, send all three, because I want to make sure, I'm not sure what we'll need, but I'd like to have all three here. Then all of a sudden the truck decided to build air. When the guy shows up, I said, all right, it decided to build air, but it's not purging still, so there's still an issue, obviously. So I think we should just change out the air dryer. I'll eat that. Well, it's like $500, $600, but then that would solve everything that could possibly be wrong. Instead of maybe just doing the purge valve, and maybe it's the governor. Maybe just doing the governor, it's, so let's do it all. Well, Floyd sent the wrong parts. They sent the wrong air dryer, the wrong purge valve kit, and the wrong governor. Really? They sent Wabco. This is a Bendix system. I just bought the purge valve from them Wednesday night that I brought over to Sapp Brothers. That's the first thing they did in trying to get the whole system to work Thursday morning. So how would they not know which one I need again all of a sudden? I gave them my VIN, my engine serial number. Morons! So he brought these parts up to me now that we couldn't use any of them. So all he could do was take the air dryer off, disconnect everything, redo all the fittings, redo all the lines, and put it back together and hope it works. It did build air again. It's, but it's still not purging, which means there's still an issue. So I'm going to have to still get another purge valve kit somewhere while I'm out here on the road and pay somebody along the line to do that. Because Floyd's Freightliner and Cheyenne are such morons. I can't believe it. I just bought the purge valve kit from you the night before, and now you give me the wrong one. God, I'm so over them. That's why I do all my service at Sapp Brothers. And at least they sent the guy out to try to make it right. Hopefully, this will keep working for me. I'm afraid it might break down again. But what are you going to do? If you're not flexible in the trucking business, you gon' break. Oh, what a couple of days. So, I tell you, you spend all that money and you still break down. Okay, that's going to happen sometimes. But then, I deal with a Floyd's Freightliner and they send the wrong parts with the Sapp Brothers guy. So Floyd's Freightliner in Cheyenne wasted my time and wasted Sapp Brothers' time and money because they sent parts that we couldn't even use. So all I can hope is the redoing the fittings and the lines and stuff that the guy did tonight on the repair is going to keep me going. Right, Rusty? Let's hope and pray, baby. You got to pray if you want to make it today. Obscure MC Hammer reference. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like and comment. I get your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes takes a few days because I'm a working truck driver. Clutch Trucker on Instagram. Clutch Trucker on Twitter, where I always put Rusty stuff. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, hanging in there. Out.
Please, sir, we are in a terrible hurry.
Don't rush me, Sonny. You rush a miracle man, you get rotten miracles. All right. Where's the dough? All right, now come down here. We got to start down here. You know the rules. There it goes. All righty. Thanks to Connie for sending this to us. We have the bacon strips original with bacon. So he'll get two tonight because these are not the thick cut. He loves both of them, so it doesn't matter. Junior sent us the thick cut last time, but Rusty's all over it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Happy dog. Because he's a bacon strip dog. He's a bacon strip dog. Sometimes he eats too fast and he starts to cough, but he's a bacon strip dog. Right, Rusty? Oh, yes. Love it, love it. Happy dog look. Up here. Rusty, come on, look up here. Hello? Rusty, I think you got it, buddy.